Alright, so this is the code for assignment number 4. It's pretty much just doing AJAX testing given the stuff that you've given us to do. So, first thing that we had to do for the HTML stuff was do the sort. So based on what you said on the Sakai page, I did sort form right here. Gave a blank one, so that would be in case there's a null value, and then did it based on date, title, favorites. These are the values that they'll be using in PHP and AJAX. So I did sort descending, so in case you want to switch it, do like descending order, so yes or no, no and blank pretty much do the same thing. And the actual one is it for body. Pretty much, if you ever need, like, if you know the body of the value in the array, you can just pick it up. Body and title feel like kind of useless unless you actually know what you are searching for. And then that's pretty much it for this. Alright, so now let's go into actual JavaScript code. You actually did most of the code for me. I did have to add, let's see, what I have to add. Okay, for the sort descending and body, which gets to the values that I made. I also created the date pattern, like regular expressions, like checks for two numbers, / two numbers, / and four digits after that. And I also do the testing for each of them. It is possible you can mess up on both, so I did a /n/n, and it also prevents the event default. They append it to the errors, like a div, so that's good too. I also added the sort descending and body to the URL request, so that's something you have to do. I forgot to take this out. This was never necessary. But yeah, so an output just depends on the server response, whatever the server response is to the output. Error, like you did the first part of the code, and I just pretty much appended the error throw. Cloud9 was giving me a lot of errors for that. I don't know why. Like I had to do HTML, but like now it actually works, so that was weird. Complete just pretty much closes the loading mode out, so don't worry about that. But CSS, like, the PHP file actually helped me with this because it tells me this span class names, and for the specific things you wanted me to do. For date you wanted italicized, title you wanted bold, and for favorites you wanted bold, white, red, and a little padding. I did 3 pixels, so nothing big. So give us 2 PHP files. This one's like pretty much doing the request. It does all the spans for the results, so it gets from get posts. I have the comments here, like pretty much like it gets from get posts, checks the counts from get post. If it's greater than 0, it puts in this unordered list, like date, for it echoes the results from the array date, then title, body, favorites. And it keeps doing that for each, and then if it doesn't find anything, it says no results found. For the main PHP, pretty much requests all the values. I didn't have to do that, you did that for me. This statement right here pretty much checks if the date and the date ends actually exists. If there's no data, then it's going to send a bad request. This one checks favorites. If it's blank, then it's set to null. If favorites is not set to null, and it's not actually numeric, then it does another bad request. Same thing for limits, so not going to be like explaining this twice. Limit does the same thing for sort. It sorts by date, title, favorites. Sorts can be set to null if you so choose it. It'll automatically just sort it based on title, and date. Like if you don't choose one, or if you type in something incorrect, it will give you a bad request saying it has to be a valid sort field, date, title, favorites. Same thing like previous statements. If it's blank, sets it to null. And this is the array of all the data. It has 4 keys: date, title, body, and favorites, which is a number. This one sets the results variable to the array. It's a basic counter for when you're using a loop. For each just goes for the post array, puts it as P, and sets the variable D for date, so that way it knows this if statement checks if the date is greater than, if D is greater than the start date that you can query. There's less than the end date. This one checks if favorites is null, or if favorites is equal to actual favorites in the array. Same thing for title, checks if one if it's the opposite title, or if it is actually the same title if it's not false. Same thing for body. And then it actually does p.link, which I don't even see added, and probably is done in PHP, to a Google thing plus a title. And the last code is actually for sorting. If sort does not equal null, then it has to check if reverse is yes. If it is yes, then yes, premium spot that you sort does that information for you based on variables A and B. It does it based on if it's a date, make sure it's numeric, and it returns either regular result or if it's reverse. So now we'll go check the website. I already did the information, so I press submit. It's going to say enter correct end date, enter add request. If I and take that out, because you also want to see the console network reload. Okay, so if I click submit, and right here it stops. It gives you that request. And this line of code right here. 100 bad request. So it's supposed to do bad request, so I just put that error there anyway. Click submit. Alright, and if you look at the network, it actually got information from the PHP file. It's in green, 204K. It actually tells us the date, bolded, title, and pretty much color coded favorites. I could actually put a limit of 10 results. Don't think that'll matter, but let's just see how much you load it. There's only 10 results. To select the number of favorites, I'm gonna go put 200 to see what it does. And only these results. I choose to sort by date, but let's do the date right now. Because I could just sort it by actually whatever place it came. This looks like it's sorted by favorites. Sort by date, 45, 46, 46. And then obviously there's my route order. I can change them, so design 46, 46, 45. And I can do any combination. Let me just put 100 so there's more results. So first order. And that is my code.